I mean this thing, yeah? I tribute for a great man. Great king that passed, man. Bonnie Livingston Whaler.
All right.
Yeah.
We are here today again.
He is the originator of the whaler, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, was.
No, it was, yeah. We are here.
We are here. We are here.
Again.
In the University of Dumfries.
Uh-huh.
We are just rebranded.
Mm-hmm.
And we are here with the professor. He says he don't want to be the professor, the ordinary Rasta engine.
The master.
Of course.
Yeah. And for persons who are going to view this, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and tip.
Of course.
And I believe in master and master thing, because that is come from massa.
Your master, yeah.
No, it's not massa people.
So we'll stick to the professor. Rasta.
Rasta, how are you?
Well, they're giving me all kind of names that belongs to me, but I'll accept it.
No, man, you're the master because...
I'm Rasta. That's me.
Rasta, what are you eating there?
I know having my breakfast with my roast bakes. Remember when I go for the corn flour, we talk about it, what does make with it?
So that's why I'm making with the corn flour today?
Bakes. That's what I made. Well, you can roast some bakes. And the amount of things I does have to do in the morning away. So I don't have no special time. I take breakfast when I can.
When you're hungry.
Many people have their hours they take their breakfast. I don't have no hour. When I can, sometimes I don't have at all.
Alright, so before you all start chit-chatting, let me show the people what's happening here. Greatest farmer of them all, eh? So the nuts outside sunning. We are the bakes here. Well, the fire on top don't come down already.
Alright, nuts we are roasting now.
Fire
Right.
on top, fire below. White
Magnificent view. Cool. Yeah, boy. And the peas sunning.
I don't turn me things to you now.
The peas sunning.
Yeah,
And we took up the corn already. Wonderful. A beautiful day. Bright and sunny. And good day to all our friends or family in the diaspora.
This is the estate.
So I'll now turn it over
to
to these gentlemen.
Yeah.
I don't know why you call me gentleman. I'm a Rasta man.
The Rasta and the ballad.
On the ballad.
Yeah.
So what's happening here?
In the university, look, you get from A to Z in Africa, from picture to what. When you live there, you know the population of every state in Africa, the tribe, the name, the whatever. We got everything right here. Yes, this is what way Egypt day. And everybody say Egypt not in Africa. Well, if Egypt not in Africa, what is doing attached to this African continent?
Exactly. Exactly. Saudi Arabia is in Africa.
Yeah, all them.
Yeah, that's where my uncle used to work, Saudi Arabia.
I know.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this map is the most detailed map I ever seen in my whole life in looking at maps.
I want to live in Greenland, right up here.
Oh yeah, we know. We know. Yeah, we're in the university. And something came to mind while looking at the Caribbean. And that's what we're going to chit-chat about now.
So, does it mean what you're speaking about Caribbean as it relates to Africa? Moving across?
Well, yeah. Because when I look at this map and I look where Sierra Leone and Senegal and those places is straight across the Carriacou. So that's why we had the slave trade coming straight from there into Carriacou. Well, not Carriacou, you know, but the Caribbean.
Not only slave trade, and them hurricane too.
Well, yes, and that's another thing we
and the Sahara dust too.
The Sahara dust, exactly.
Yeah.
And it is written, that's why the hurricanes are so furious and cause so much damage, because they come across the same trade that they take our parents and bring them over. That's where all hurricanes are formed, right there. of the west coast of Africa.
That is why we should also call Caribbean people and not West Indian people.
Yeah, we are Caribbean people.
Because we live in the Caribbean.
Of course.
That is why the name Caribbean come about.
And the name Carriacou come about. And that's what
West Indian come about because of Christopher Columbus, when he came here, he made the Carib.
That liar.
And the Carib have some resemblance of the Indian we had known way up in the east.
Of course.
And because he say he travel west, we meet here, he call them West Indian. But it wasn't referring to us. As African, we wasn't here yet.
Yeah.
But
I remember in 2016, I think it was 2016, we had the Temne tribe from Africa visiting Carriacou to connect with the people, the Temne tribe in Carriacou. And do you remember that?
Well, Africa, come on.
Of course.
I mean, doesn't matter we call it whatever name, but here is Africa.
Of course. And what I understand
Only
about
African lives there, ain't it?
what's the man name that came?
Amadou Masali.
Yeah, me and Mr. Angus Martin had a conversation about him on Sunday. And you just mentioned the name, and straight up Engine said
Masali.
The
last name.
From
The north, Dover. We had Masali here.
Right.
Who I know, like, he and my parents, so my old man was real friend. So I happen to know him personal.
Okay.
Visiting his home, he used to be by us in and out. So I know him properly. He related to the Alexander people in Belvedere.
Okay. Right. Interested. So we are.
And
All of you take it. We are
no,
tied.
I know I could tell you he was an true African. His shape, his height, his build. When you look at his build,
Yeah.
Well,
African.
you know,
man.
comparing my parents and the Nigerian,
Yeah.
they look the same.
Right. Right. You know, an interesting topic while we were chit-chatting came up about Carriacou and the Grenadines with Grenada and St. Vincent. You know, and I had was to stop and think because I heard the saying already how Carriacou get away from St. Vincent.
Got
or
separated.
Got separated. Talk us through that.
No, well, St. Vincent was the last Carib known island in the Arrow.
Right.
The old Grenadines Island was one. Up to my time, I know we
Right.
never had no friendly relationship with Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
As a little boy, my vendor used to come out from St. Vincent or wherever the Grenadines and come and sell him potato in Grand Bay. And potato didn't used to sell by pound or what happened, by share.
By share.
They used to have this big silver pan.
Mm-hmm.
And when time they full that, they make a heap. So every time you go to purchase your potato, you buy a share.
A share.
So we used to call it was 50 cents for a share. And the 50 cents that share used to be mostly 25 pounds and over.
And over.
It
Wow.
wouldn't be under.
Wow. But right.
St. Vince, the Grenadines and Carriacou, we not agree the Grenadines and Carriacou. All the Grenadines from Carriacou to Bakeway was one.
But it was under Grenada. That's why it's called the Grenadines, Little Grenada.
No. I don't know that. I know the Grenadines, it could be, but I've never known.
Yes,
I never
it
done a
was.
study to know well how the name come about.
Yes, so all
What
it.
I know, King Henry share up the Grenadines.
Yes.
In making St. Vincent and Grenada same area, 132 square miles.
That is true.
Right.
Give some to St. Vincent
And
he give to
Grenada. Yes.
But St. Vincent don't know what they get and they document it. Grenada never bother to document. We have no time with we so now
Right.
Carriacou document and there's no way.
Yes,
It
so
might make list
that
under
is
the
true.
Grenadines. Carriacou don't list under nobody. So me and how come we become a Grenada.
Yeah, so all the Grenadines belonged to Grenada at one time, so that's why it's called Little Grenadines. And then I think it was between the British and the French when they was going to take over Bakeway. Then they said, okay, well, Bakeway belonging to Grenada would be too close to St. Vincent, and having the French ruling one and then the British ruling the other one. So that's why they decided to divide it.
King Henry, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Not the King Henry.
So when they divided,
When
they say,
England
okay,
get
well,
control.
they give both states, both nations, Grenada and Saint Vincent, equal share. So
they
that's
equal
why.
133 square miles.
Yes,
And Carriacou always used to be the head of the Grenadines Island.
always the largest Grenadine island. Yep.
Okay.
Bakeway is the second largest.
Yes.
The people from Bakeway migrate from Barbados.
Let me
See this
store me
kind of
back.
who we call Malata. And their name is Mulattoes. Barbados had a great fire. And these people migrate from Barbados to Bakeway and Windward. And this is where they settle from thence to now.
Okay, so they all came from Barbados.
Yeah, because
So-
all the country was under colonialism from England.
So
you're
was
free
it?
to do anything anyway.
So just Bakeway or Pitimatnik? Because
But
I'm looking at the
Pitimatnik-
complexion now.
Pitimatnik and Windward, will always say one.
Right.
So some settle in Pitimatnik, but they're all from Barbados.
Okay. Well, they're all related and they're all family.
No, them is what you call mulatto. You see them are, those are the children that what we call the white men have with the slaves.
Yes.
So they couldn't go back to Europe with them as their child. And you see, Barbados was the only country that most of the white slave master remained. They didn't migrate because in Barbados couldn't set up a defense.
To flats.
Because there is like a biscuit.
Yeah.
There are no defense.
Yeah.
So the white man always have the upper hand on the African. See a lot of other country where you could secure yourself and fight them away. They didn't take chance to remain.
Okay.
But like
they
say,
all speak up.
Barbados, they were safe. So they remain in Barbados and that's why I find Barbados are the most mulatto children, which means black and white children.
Right.
Half caste as we call them in
Half
England.
caste, yeah, so you're half caste child.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's how they get in the Bakeway and Carriacou and stretch through and Pitimatnik because Pitimatnik, Alava and Carriacou is same tongue.
As you speak about town there, I'm learning in the university that the town of Carriacou used to be Granby.
Well, the first tongue in Carriacou was Gambia.
Yes.
These were all black man land.
Yes.
Right.
That
And
point
everything.
where. Yes.
It's to the reef and weather condition they
Uh-huh.
take into consideration and move it to the western side.
So what they do, they just say they just get up on morning and say we're moving the town.
No. Because that's when the destruction on the eastern side, the weather side. The water was coming in more on that side.
The Atlantic.
And they didn't have no wharf or so no jet. It was what we call light or small, was the loading and offload with.
Right.
And so much a reef and certain times, Granby was so rough. That is how they come up with the decision to move the town to the west.
Yes.
Okay.
I read
And
in
then
yes.
Hillsborough was the place they identify.
So what they did, they go to the people and say, well, we're making a decision to move Granby
Well,
into
tell you the
Hillsborough.
truth, we the African didn't have no choice to run the decision taking in them times. Is what the European decide because it's the business. Them we know, them we coming in with the boat, them where the losses, them we seen and they securing the interest.
Right.
So in securing the interest, that make them come up with the idea to be safer with the things to
That
the
to be
west.
sorry. Okay.
Because if you check, most of the weather, most of the rough seas is in the
Atlantic,
eastern
yes.
side of every country.
Of course.
That is why you find they come up with most of the every deep West Indian island you go to. The main put is to the west because they understand now they have to save themselves from the weather because all the hurricane come out from the east to come to the west.
Right.
Just like Jamaica. Jamaica first headquarter was St. Anne's.
Okay.
But St. Anne's far up in the north and is the same kind of condition. You see they bring it down to Kingston. You know?
Right.
Yes, I remember reading.
As we say, experience is a man's greatest teacher. After the experience, they know where it's safer to take care of their produce and what, because that's what they were there for. Only to take what they see, what they get. Right. And then, as I said before, there wasn't no jetty or no wharf. It was all small boat, which we call light offloading and loading. So which is easier. Sometimes when you're meeting the surf, you boat swamp right there.
Right there, yeah.
But on the western side where it is most time more calm, you wouldn't find that happening.
Brilliant.
They come and chop off the slaves and pick up the sugar and the cotton and everything.
Pick up the
molasses.
And lime. Well, Carriacou used to produce real lime. Well, I don't know, Carriacou and Dominica in the Caribbean was the lime producing countries. We have the cotton industries,
So remember which were the big estates in Carriacou?
No,
Dumfries.
from the time me I clean, man. Dumfries estate, man.
Of course.
The most productive estate.
What about Limley and Bossejou?
Well, Bossejou, all them places, I know them like individual farmers own. But like Dumfries was like state owned. And enough people make the living on the Dumfries estate. Because I, as a little boy, even when I didn't supposed to stay with duty out there as I working yet, I used to come and make my little dollars in Dumfries, especially coming to carnival time to play your mass and all that kind of thing. Because the lime productive time is just around the carnival time.
Yeah.
So you just come on the estate, you pick up lime and you bring it in the yard, and it was 3 cents a pound at the time. After the lime is yours, the pick upper, and the state gets half. So you have money. Until I start working on the estate with the state as a permanent worker in the factory.
Right.
But before, you just come and pick your lime, and all the ladies picking lime.
Make a task.
All day for months to picking lime. When you go in the factory yard, all you could see is lime and bag. You know? And that go up to 1974.
Wow. Wow.
Now, we are no alternative to survive now. We are no fact. We don't even have an industry.
No, we buying lime in a bottle.
We buying lime in a bottle imported. When we were the greatest producer.
What a turnaround, eh?
Yeah. I tell you the truth. It's government, careless government, that I think is the first that start deteriorating the Dumfries estate, lime estate, with lime production or whatever you may want to call it.
Right.
Because the machine which we used to crush the lime. The machine used to separate the juice, it separate the seed, it separate the skin. And he has something what we just call the pulp or the rind. All house have a bottle of that in their bed food. As you feel like you are the cold, you just take a rub with that and the cold gun. We used to call it lime oil. We ain't seen that again.
Never. So we should get to that lime alcohol.
Lime alcohol.
Yeah.
But talking the lime oil is the 100% natural thing that comes from the skin.
Yeah, the rind. I call the rind. Okay.
Well, that they separate and all these things shipped to England. Eh?
Yeah.
It's only the workers, you go have your bottle, you take out to the workers. But all these things wasn't for us, was for England. Sometimes me a boat joke loading lime juice in the tongue there for days.
Wow.
On kias,
Yeah,
man
kias, yeah.
building them kias in the factory. Everything used to take place in the factory there. You have a man from Montreal like Jonathan Dick. He was responsible, you call the trader Cooper.
Yeah.
He was responsible for building the kiosks and repairing them.
Okay.
So you can have the kiosks ready to ship the lime juice.
Ship the lime juice. Wow.
There were no plastic container to say, well, you're going to, it was all wood constructed kiosks.
Of course.
That's what I know.
Plastic comes for fast production after the years.
Yeah. Well, maybe they didn't even hit at the sense of making plastic container. Yeah, and sometimes it could be the material for the plastic could be cheaper than the material to build the kiosk.
Yeah, because you have to cut down a tree.
Well,
you have to cut trees to get it.
To get wood, you must get it from a tree.
Yeah.
So that can be one of the factors I moved to go. But we never ship in plastic, eh?
No. Plastic era didn't come yet. Come
after.
Yeah, late. Very late. Yeah, because I know when you go to the shops, you get your thing in a paper bag.
Yes, there was all paper bag. There were no plastic bags.
No plastic bags.
I remember the 5 roses.
Exactly.
Five roses come late. We have what you call paper bag. We saw the 25-pound bag without no handle or whatever. Where you get it's a sugar, it's a rice. Come in one of these big bags. It's in the 70s.
All right.
You start seeing 5 roses. Because of the handle they attached to that bag.
And you had 5 roses on it. Called the 5 roses bag. Red rose, man. For Gregory.
And when you're going in the shop to buy things like rice, you didn't allow to get it in a bag. You had to go with your container to put your rice. You get your flour in a bag, in a paper bag. Sugar, paper bag. Rice, you had to go with your container. Salt, there was no fine salt. All salt was going on the stone. Grain of salt. So you had to go with your bowl or whatever to put your salt when you're going to buy salt. And salt was a thing. You had to be careful what time your salt finished to purchase it. Because you couldn't go and
buy salt after 6 o'clock.
After 6 o'clock. Salt, kerosene and all this sort of thing.
Remember that.
Don't sell after 6. So you have to, sometimes when you go to light your lamp, you see you don't have kerosene. You have to go by the neighbor and beg for some kerosene to wet your wick until morning.
So why they didn't used to sell after 6?
Well, maybe, I don't know the reason, but for me, kerosene and them thing, you know, we can say put it on the explosive side.
Yeah.
And this kind of thing.
And salt.
You don't know. Well, I know for salt. Because salt, all I know, you put salt in your food.
They say they bad. What do they say about salt and bad luck?
Yeah, it is bad luck to
after 6.
Sell salt after 6.
Or to give to your neighbor after 6.
African people have whatever they have in their head, which I can question it. You don't need to question it. Some of the things, you just do it or you don't. You know? Because them is what they, and you couldn't go in detail, you couldn't question your parents, you're not allowed.
You're joking now.
Whatever you see, you just keep doing it.
You just keep doing it.
It's not like now children are getting into what kind of question with their parents. We didn't allow to do that. We didn't allow to stay around with parents when they have a friend.
And they have
and
company.
They're in conversation.
Of course.
So when you see somebody coming home,
you have to know.
You have to know where you have to go and give the people a chance to stay. That's how Patois live here.
Exactly.
Secretiveness in the with parents. Yeah,
they teach me.
They never teach with the Patois because they want to hold the conversation on it within themselves.
Yeah.
The only place Patois remain last is like in Belmont. Because the Belmont people and the Montreal people are the last set of true Africans from British Estate. And you see some migrate and go and live in Belmont. And the same weather again, eh? Because in the heat of the cane season, you don't cane this and dust blind in your eye, erosion. So everybody try to get themselves very safe and comfortable to survive. Yeah. That's why you see the people from Dumfries didn't go in Montreal yet. Just on the top of the hill up here where we are now, where you see that windmill, you call the coulisses. This is where they first start to live, two sisters. And then now, whatever between the two sisters, one go Mongrel and start to build a village there, and the other one build 6 Road. So the people from 6 Road and the people from Mongrel really come from two sisters.
Two sisters.
Because that's when, after they break away from the estate, nobody didn't have no place. Nobody didn't have no money. But after the slave trade abolished, all we had to do is to survive as we can and how we can. You know. And I think the people and them didn't protest right. You know. Because from Massa, you have all the land. You have all the wealth. We work and provide everything. Slave trade abolished, they get a pay for us. They call for compensation for the slave. We get nothing. And for we to survive, we still have to turn back to Massa to ask them for privilege to lose their land. Where they get the land? They're not even from here, all of us, you see. We have the rights to make sure when they live, when they're going from, we have means of surviving.
Yeah.
We should have the land. You know, we should have some preference to survive. So that led us up to today. You see, nobody, black people suffering. Now, one of the things some of the masters do when black people start getting pay, like 25 cents a month, like we the African used to work like for 50 cents a month. Like the Indian who come and doing whatever, they used to get 25 cents a month because the African was the skilled workers. But what we get, the little money that we get, when the white man go take it in we and tell we take this piece of land. Yeah, all we have to do when he going to keep him and go with your land. If it's yours, go with it. But we still give him compensation again from the little change we get from he himself.
Yeah. We give him back
to go with, to stay on the same land we work with all the time. You see it? So we wasn't thinking futurized. We were so glad to get the name freedom.
Yeah.
Maybe to take all the blows on we back and all that thing, we're so free to get away from it that we didn't think about future.
Yeah.
But that is what we are. And up to today, I noticed plenty of us don't think about our future. You know? We only do things today for today.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Tomorrow we're just watching the breeze.
That is true. Words of wisdom.
Plenty of us.
Words of wisdom.
Alright, so I'll end this one here. Thank you for viewing. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and tip. Bye.
We'll be back in the university next week.